Welcome back to my channel. My name is Mercury, or as some of you know me as Maya. So in this video, as you can see on the screen, I will be just coloring. I wanted to come on here and do a voiceover, just talk about my Substack actually, and share a little bit about me in general. So as some of you may know, I have a Substack. I shall put it on the screen right here if any of you want to subscribe, and I will also link it down in the description below. But I wanted to come on here and talk about my Substack and share a couple articles and hopefully just maybe get you guys to subscribe or just, talk and be here. So the first one I want to talk about is one that was super personal to me that I wrote in a time where I genuinely didn't feel very loved or okay in myself. So it is called Exposition of the Soul. Exposition of the Soul. What happens when one stops wearing a mask? Cracks. Indications of the beginning of the end. No one else can see the little pieces spilling out of the soul. Rather, it's felt every time you try to hold a conversation without absorbing the contents, or when you're asked questions about yourself. Your answer only reflects the you from 12 years ago. Who am I? What do I like? Love. Do I exist? For me or for others? I read an article recently by Janelle, or One Cup of Tea, which I will also link in the description or in this video, called The Slow Burn of Becoming Yourself. The words captured a part of myself that is new to existence. I realized that my hiding spot was becoming my crutch in life. I held myself back for the sake of validation, for a Six of Wands moment that never existed because I was unhappy. I lost all sense of who I was/am. Comfort was found in the uncertainty of the night, and overall discomfort became the norm. This isn't the first time my feelings have led me down this path, but this time it's something I can't avoid, even if it drives me insane. The tower must fall for you to rebuild it. Maybe better than the last time. Rewriting the self. A common phrase I've heard is, everyone's life is like a long novel, never ending until the end. My anxiety wants the book to be over already, with each dream and goal done before we can grow old enough to finish the chapters, or when my yawns drown out the words in my head. My depression would rather stare at blank sheets of a person until something appears. It never does. And my brain warps the opinions of others into original thoughts. But what happens when one removes the mask? To be honest, I'm not sure. I'm still figuring it out day by day, minute by minute, trying to not flinch at an inkling of pain. I've been searching and trying to get to a higher self as if I'm not that person already, as if I'm not the same being as what I call Mercury. 2026 hasn't been easy, especially after the astrological new year came to pass, and the planets decided it was everyone's time. Time to grow, to die, to restart, or to simply be. As a tarot reader, astrology isn't my go-to method of universal communication, but even the cards aren't sparing me this time. Instead of leaning into my usual routine of 5-minute meditations and breathwork, I've learned to live in the dark, playing Marco Polo with life. Lunatic behavior to a few. However, the dark has led me to more answers than the light has ever provided. I'm still learning who Mercury is. It's a never-ending path of bullshit and saying it is what it is when things turn left. Living in the confusion and accepting how life ebbs and flows. Expanding my awareness, looking past potential problems to solve. Appreciating everything, even if I'm not in nature, a place where I thrive. But the trees and throw blankets can't hide my big ass forever. No more hiding by SZA encapsulates the concept perfectly. No more hiding from the paths of fog that lie ahead. No more fearing an unknown entity that looks just like you. In the dark, you'll find the comfort of being misunderstood, of being present. I'm grateful for this journey of self-discovery, or rather, remembering the person who's always been with me. So I've decided to fully embrace SZA's advice. In her lyrics, she says, I want to know what's underneath, mask off. I get more oversized, down, talking, face off. Cut myself open to see what I'm made of. I guess I'm guilty of giving out fake love. I'm so fake. Fuck. So, in the end, I did actually share a piece of my writing, which I will also share on my other account called the Blurb Collective, which I will also link in the description and put in the video right now. And it reads, "My heart grows restless, heavy with an undeserved guilt, sleeping in a tomb of memories not forgotten, wishing for relief in undignified places, golden beats from a heart once treasured. Maybe it'll stop when the attention wavers. An easier resolution to a difficult conflict. The reflections of loneliness are opaque." So I shared this article to say that as someone who's been there and is still there in a way, still at that point where you are confused or rediscovering yourself or discovering yourself, a new version, whatever the case may be, I share this to say that you're not alone, to say that everyone experiences times like this all the time. You could be healed or some type of version of healed, but I think we all have heard this at one point or another. Healing isn't linear. The way I see it, it looks like a Fibonacci spiral. It looks like a never ending spiral that's either going outward or inward or both. It really depends on your perspective. I genuinely believe that even if we think we're over something, maybe we're truly not. Or maybe some aspect of that situation has to come back up for us to learn a particular lesson in our present day. So I encourage everyone to really take this time, especially during this Mercury retrograde, if this video goes up during then or even post Mercury retrograde, to really sit down and reflect and not be judgmental towards yourself. Give yourself grace, give yourself time, give yourself a day to even crash out if need be, you know? I would say to embrace the deepest, rawest sides of you with no judgment, no fear, and yeah, just no judgment, no fear, and overall acceptance of who you are and what you've become and things like that. So, there's another article I do want to share. It's called "Why I Belong in the Forest and Nowhere Else." So, I wrote this article after coming back from an upstate trip with one of my partners, and it was beautiful. The forest up there is always so beautiful, lovely. The air is crisp and clean. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, let me tell you something right now. So, I think I shared this in my first YouTube video, but about being a good guest in our forest, you know, keeping our forest alive, and just remembering that we aren't the only ones living on this planet. Now, I wanted to share why I say I belong in the forest and nowhere else, because I truly do think I belong in the forest. I love my city, I love living here, but oh my God, it can be a lot sometimes. And I'm pretty sure some of you, if not most, know what I'm talking about, especially those who know exactly what city I live in. So, why I belong in the forest and nowhere else. We all do. I yearn to be in a forest till the sunset reaches my eyes, and the light resembles ethereal butterflies, brushing against the trees that are whispering secrets to the fae folk in me. I belong where the big leaves, moss, and prehistoric rocks reside. I yearn for the fresh air. Living in an overpopulated city takes oxygen and replaces it with soot. Contrary to public perception, I'm not a city person. I'm a little witch in a cottage deep in the forest, and the only way to find me is through the symbols I leave with the trees. And they sure as hell won't tell you a damn thing. I aspire to travel the world, visiting every single nature spot known to man and beyond. As someone with an Earth, Venus, and Mars, returning to the Earth and becoming a willow tree is my ultimate goal. I am so serious about that, by the way. The art of frolicking through the meadows, singing lines from medieval times. Oh, to be the forest nymph helping weary travelers. That's one of the many careers I plan to have in this lifetime. If you know anyone who is looking for a local forest nymph, you know where to find me. With my Forest Frolic playlist in a dream, shameless plug to my playlist. I will link it in the description or I will put it in the video if you'd like to follow that. Beautiful silence, sitting on a mossy rock, caressing the rocks, and taking in the peaks of warmth from our star. I recently went to a forest upstate. It's insane to imagine someone's dream in another's backyard, but it's also hard to describe my romantic musings to those who already experience natural ASMR. Calm radiance, living in a town that can fit in your palm. There, I'll grow wings and gain wisdoms only 84-year-olds possess. Understanding the plain grief that comes with living a long life. Hundreds of years of watching the world change around you in a stationary position. It may not seem poetic to the AI users who care more about their generated prompts than the climate, animals, and rising oceans and Mother Earth. Nature is what keeps us alive, and it's what cradles us as we die. Before the wonderful streams and trees disappear, I'll keep going, revisiting the home many have abandoned. Nature isn't meant for aesthetics, it's for rest. Going back to our roots, our home. We're not the only ones breathing. We all play a part in the mysterious cycle of life, death, and rebirth. I belong, I yearn, and I live for an earth that has provided me with nothing but abundance, rather asking for anything in return, just simple respect. And that is how I feel truly about our earth, especially with the Canadian wildfires that are currently going on and the super El Nino, just these really high climates, and then just out of nowhere thunderstorms and soot and rain, and some parts of the US have snow, which is insane. So I think that even if the damage that we have done so far is irreversible, we should still appreciate what is left instead of being so dreary about, what isn't going to be left. Because oof, because I feel like a lot of people worry about what isn't going to be instead of what is already. And one way to help support the earth and support the climate and support the earth in general, I feel like we should all visit our local nature preserves, visit our local gardens, visit our neighborhood gardens, really, visit our farmers, visit everyone who is using the earth to help everyone, if that makes sense. It is super late right now, so please pardon me. But regardless, I genuinely believe that it's super important to do these things. Even if we can't always afford it, the simple, act of sharing it in a post or even just going to visit, even if you don't buy anything from your local farmers and from your neighborhood gardeners, simply, just sharing these things and showing them encourages more people to want to go. I've recently seen videos of people in the Swiss Alps, in Iceland, in Greenland. I've seen so many videos recently of just beautiful, beautiful places that this world has to offer. And that has just made me and a lot of people in the comments just want to go and explore. Even in my state where I am, just simply going upstate and seeing what our my state has to offer. I haven't seen much of it, but I want to see more now. So it's just simple. It's as simple as that. That's how you can support the earth in your own way, in a way that is healthy for you, or just something that is not stressful, or something that you could just do whenever. I know that a lot of people go to pumpkin patches and strawberry fields and things like that, but that's cool and all. But have you ever thought about buying eggs from a local farmer in the Bronx? I just seen a video about that today. That's insane. If I can find it, I will definitely put it in the video. But if not, I encourage you guys heavily to go on TikTok or Instagram and look up farmers in your boroughs or neighborhoods or anything like that. So you've made it to the end of the video. If you like the content you have consumed thus far, please consider subscribing and following me on all of my social medias, which I will link in the description below, and following my Substack. And also, if you would like a tarot reading, you know where to find me. I will also be providing tarot readings on this channel here and there in the future, so if that's something you definitely want to see, please comment down below. And also, if you have any type of video suggestions or any type of content you would like to see or have me talk about, once again, also comment down below. I appreciate those who have made it to the end. Thank you so much for watching. If you've made it this far, I love you so much. You are loved. And never forget that. Peace and blessings to all of you always. And so it is.